This is Eagle Al, and today we're going to talk about AJ Brown explain the fight with Lattimore. Also, we're going to talk about Jordan Davis. He's a dog. To me, he took advantage of every snap he got. And lastly, CJ Gardner Johnson and then Nick Sirianni. Sentimental moment. But let's get straight into it. All right, before we hop straight into it, got to shout out today's sponsor. Shout out to BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150. Get a 150% boost on your first deposit. Then on your next 225% boost up to $2,000. But before we get into the topics, let's talk about some quick hits. All right, so Kellen Moore just had a in-person interview with the Saints last night when I was going to shoot the video. I know it was requested, but as I shoot this video this morning, guys, are getting around like 10:30, 11. The interview was finished, and Kellen Moore deserved the interview. He cooked up. He was cooking against the Washington Commanders, and I thought the first two games was a little unfair. Well, you could say the first game was like, what are you calling? But to be fair, Green Bay got a really good defense. Second game, I thought the snow hindered his play calling. Then the third game, he just went off, took advantage of the run, took advantage of the pass. It was really, really balanced, I would say. I only could count a couple mistakes on one hand, and I can really put it more on Jalen, just not pulling the trigger at times, but you can't really put that on Kellen Moore. So, again, Kellen Moore deserves it. Do Kellen Moore comes off as a leader of men? I don't know, but he seemed more quiet. I'm really, really smart type guy. But we're gonna see if he can lead a group of men, because I think the Saints are probably going to hire him. I would be shocked if they don't, but if they don't, I would love Kellen Moore to come back another full year. But we need a consistent Kellen Moore, a more consistent guy. Also, I want to talk about Nick Sirianni. He sends a strong message, and let me play this clip. See, that was the message after the game. To me, this NFC Championship felt different than 2022. What I mean by that is 2022, it seemed like we was really excited to go to the Super Bowl. You seen more smiles, more laughter. And I'm not saying the guys didn't feel the same way. You seen like Gilly, partying with the guys in the locker room, but the guys seem more serious. Like unfinished business has been a slogan since preseason. Like we got unfinished business. We got to go back to the Super Bowl. You got to think Jalen Hurts broke the curse of losing the Super Bowl and going back, because it was a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, a lot that lost the Super Bowl, and a lot of people like, yeah, they'll be back. Never go back. Hell, go back to Dan Marino, who's a GOAT. I think he went to the Super Bowl his rookie year or something like that. I could be wrong. That's way past my time. But he never went back. So Jalen Hurts definitely broke that curse. Remember Joe Burrow? He supposed to been back, supposed to been battling with Patrick Mahomes. They supposed to been going back and forth to Super Bowls. Never been back. They said the same thing about Jalen Hurts when he lost. Like he might not never get another opportunity. Howie Roseman did his thing. Jalen Hurts kept improving. Saquon can't ignore the signing, right? We just got better and better, and he is back. And I think the message has been Nate Sirianni, upper staff, even Jeffrey Lurie, and those guys like, yo, we got to go win that thing. Because Jeffrey Lurie was like, as I think it was by Jimmy Johnson, one of those dudes on Fox was like, yeah, were you expected to be here? You like, of course. Like, yes, I expected to be here and win. Because they were saying like it was unexpected. Remember, people thought it was going to implode. But nah, we here. We are here. So the message is unfinished business. Like I said, I seen laughter. I seen happiness. But it's just something in their eyes when you look at 2022 to 2024. I can't explain it. The dudes look like, all right, I'm cool with this, but we got another thing to handle. So I like the unfinished business message. All right, last quick hit. Got to give Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson some appreciation. Both guys were hurt. Landon Dickerson tried to play it out with the knee. He's literally limping on the field, snapping the ball. We go into the half. Cam Jurgens come in, did his thing. He was even crying during like the post game conference. Like, man, he put it all on the line. Then you got Frankie Louvu jumping on his back. Like, Cam Jurgens gave it his all. Landon Dickerson gave it his all. But Adam Schefter gave an update on the guys because the next question is, can both guys play in the Super Bowl? This is what Adam Schefter had to say.
Injuries on the Eagles' offensive line, obviously a massive convo here. We think 2 weeks is going to be enough for Lando and for Cam to get completely healthy, or what are we expecting there?
Well, look, Cam Jurgens came in and gutted it out and was able to play through a back injury that they didn't think he was going to be able to play with. They kept him there as an emergency center. He was used in an emergency when Landon Dickerson could barely walk out there. They need one of them out there for the Super Bowl. I would think that both of them will have a real chance to be out there with the extra week of work. If they had to play the Super Bowl in a short week, that might be a big problem, but I'm sure the extra week will do well for both guys and their chances of being back out there on Super Bowl Sunday. But that was a gritty effort by that Eagles line. It's been the strength of the team all year long. They make things happen. They continue to make things happen. And you're wondering, are they going to run out of bodies there? Because it was incredible to see Jurgens initially. We thought he wasn't going to play. Then he's active. You're like, he's active. Whoa. But then he doesn't start. Dickerson's starting. They put Tyler Steen in at guard, which is what I think they were planning all along to do. And then Dickerson can't make it through, and Jurgens comes back in. It was pretty impressive to see what these guys fought through to play and win that game and play the way they did.
Yeah, I think Cam Jurgens came out and said, like, Sirianni basically, motivate. There's not. I would have, yeah. He came out and gave a full quote at his locker, basically chit-chatting about the mindset of the team, how tight the team is, how close they are, how much of a family they are. So if you can play, you're going to play for your team.
Yeah.
And Sirianni doesn't do anything is what everybody says. But then Cam Jurgens is like, well, the fact that we have such a family here led by Sirianni is the only reason why I go out there and do that. What a beautiful team.
There's a real chance both guys will play. But again, shout out to those guys, man. And even like Saquon had to dap up Cam Jurgens, and this is what Saquon said to Cam Jurgens.
Hey, way to fight for us. Hey, seriously, I appreciate you. Fight for us.
Just gotta appreciate it, man. A lot of guys were like, F that. I ain't going back in there. 2 warriors, man. 2 warriors. I love it. I appreciate those guys, man, because it could have been bad. Because who would have been snapping the ball? I don't know what other backup center. Because remember, the guy we drafted, we let him go. We cut him, in a preseason, right? Like the final cuts. We cut our draft pick. So I don't really know who else will be snapping the ball. So both of the guys did what they, was supposed to do. One guy played one half, the other guy played the other half. I love it. And I thought Cam Jurgens came in and played great. I thought he played awesome. And you could tell Landon Dickerson, when he was in, like, he's not really used to snapping the ball. Some of them look too high, too low. Landon made some mistakes, and I expected that. But it's good to have our center back. All right, so let's get into the meat and the potatoes of this video. So A.J. Brown explained the fight with Lattimore and what happened. And shout out to the Commanders content creator, the streamer, Rondo, I think his name is. And he had A.J. Brown on. This is what A.J. Brown had to say about the fight.
Damn. And then like the game, bro, like Marshawn is straight, bro.
Yeah, so why you punch my man in the face?
First of all right, you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Listen, he engaged me first.
Yeah.
He engaged me first, so he was knocking my helmet off. So when I was knocking his helmet off,
Yeah.
I just stopped, bro. I just stopped. Like, I put my hands out because I'm still playing football. I'm not out there to fight, but I will fight if it would go there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to play football, and my hands out, and the ref's trying to like stop it. He kept going, so that's probably why he got it.
But it was 50, bro. It was 50-50, bro.
But that's a football play though. Like, guys tussle all the time though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just stopped when they said stop, and he ain't stopped.
I mean, it seemed like football to me. Like, we got into a tussle, but the refs came over. I let it be. He kept going. That's why he got the flag. I think if Lattimore would have cooled down, AJ would have cooled down, wouldn't have been no flag. But Lattimore was losing the fight. The dude got his helmet off. I don't know. It looked like AJ was getting the best of him. So AJ beat. The crazy thing is AJ beat him in the fight and beat him in the game. Statistically, the score, the fight, you could do whatever you want. Lattimore just not fucking with AJ Brown, man. He beat him in all types of way, pause. So again, man, AJ was playing football. He like, yo, want to scrap? We could scrap, but the ref came over there. AJ is a funny guy, man. Very funny guy, and I'm happy he explained that for content reasons. And it looked like AJ started it, but he said Lattimore started it, and Lattimore getting into fights with a lot of guys. Think of his time with like Mike Evans and those guys. He was fighting that whole division, top receivers, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do it here too. And I love it because Devontae is going to cook him. AJ Brown is going to cook him. Lattimore's like 32 with bad hamstrings, so hey, it's going to be fun cooking this guy in the division, all right? Let's get into the next topic. CJ Gardner Johnson and Nick Sirianni. They had a moment on the sideline. I'm not going to play it because it got music in it a little bit. I don't want it to get demonetized, but I will play it as I talk. And they was hugging. Looked like CJ Gardner Johnson was crying a bit. And CJ Gardner Johnson put something out on Twitter. Was like, this is basically what happened and why he was so sentimental in that moment. CJ Gardner Johnson said, I remember the call before I signed back. NFC champions is just another goal on our list. One more to go. Fly equals fly. And then he also posted before he responded to that video. He's seen this stuff. Most annoying. Most hated. Most want to see me fail, but I always prevail. I got to give him some credit. He was with the Eagles at first. Got to the Super Bowl. We lost, unfortunately. He went to Detroit. Got to the NFC championship game, but come on, man, it's Detroit. They lost. Then he came back to the Eagles, went to the NFC Championship game, and won. I always believed C.J. Gardner Johnson was the heartbeat of the team. Even when he was struggling, I was one of the few to stick up for him. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, C.J.'s going to pick it up. Y'all was killing me in the comments. I'm like, yo, it's C.J. Gardner Johnson. He's going to pick it up. I promise you, the picks are going to come. He's going to stop missing tackles. We should have signed Xavier McKinney, who had a great year, I'm not going to lie. But I'm like, Xavier McKinney, he's a good player, but he's not the heartbeat. He's not the heartbeat of the team. And I always looked at C.J. Gardner Johnson that way since he stepped in Philadelphia. That guy is the heartbeat, and he's going to bring it every single down. He's going to annoy the hell out of opposing teams. And he just got the Philly mentality. I mean, again, Xavier McKinney is a great player, but he didn't come up with the Philly mentality. Like Saquon, for example, got a Philly mentality. Like he really wants to win. CJ Gardner Johnson, rugged, doubted, hated, but he still prevailed, like he said. That's the Philly mentality. It just fits the culture. Sometimes you could get really good guys, but they don't fit the culture and they fail in Philadelphia. Like, I hate to use this guy as an example, but I got to go with Bryce Huff, right? Bryce Huff is laid back, cool guy, kind of laissez-faire a little bit. And he was a good player on the Jets, but that Philly, the media, and him having that microscope on him, he just didn't prevail. He didn't. You got to think of guys like Nolan Smith. When you really look at him, Philly mentality. Came in, be like, maybe we should have got somebody else. And he struggled. He struggled. Words by like me, other media guys, other content creators could have really got to him. And he could have failed. But he like, nah, let me prove all y'all wrong. And he sure did. So it's certain guys that just got that mentality. Got the guts to be a Philadelphia Eagle, man. And salute to CJ Gardner Johnson, man. Salute to those guys. Even when we want Sirianni fired, and I was one of the few, I'm like, Y'all crazy if y'all fire Nick Sirianni. Crazy. Now, some things I don't like, but I'm like, if you fire Nick Sirianni, it's not going to work. And a lot of people was thinking I'm crazy. I'm like, the winning percentage, that motivator, that really matters. I'm telling you, you can have a bunch of smart guys. Look at Chip Kelly. He's really smart. He really know offense, but he wasn't a leader of men. That's why he's failing as a coach. Maybe he could be a good coordinator, maybe, but you gotta be a leader of men, man. And that's what Nick Sirianni do. That's what he do. And actually, I want to play this old clip of CJ Gardner Johnson talking about the team being Super Bowl bound. He also mentioned Nick Sirianni. Mind you, this clip is in August. Let me play it.
JB, shot James Bradbury. Yep. As much people talk about him, he's the same guy every fucking day. Every day. Like, people put out these false narratives, but if I could depend on my teammate, that shit don't matter. It doesn't matter. Like the scrutiny of Jalen, the scrutiny of Saquon. Y'all gotta think, y'all overshadow but all this. Remember, these guys had so much success in the game to the point where while we let them be great, let them just the team that we on now, we understand what's passed upon us. Right. But we're not gonna go out our body to give y'all what y'all want. Like I make sometimes I know this team and how we orchestrate. Shout out Jeffrey, Howie, Dom, Nick. They put a team together that's Super Bowl type. No. One thing about that Super Bowl loss, I did understand is the bond we had was you can't replace it. The bond we got now is growing to something that's gonna spark a big bonfire, bro. Like y'all gonna be like, whoa, what? Y'all gonna see like, and I just look at Coach Nick. I appreciate Coach Nick, bro. Like he's a competitive guy. He's like a Dion, but right. In a different way. Like so many life stories he tells us. You got when you hear him talk about Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and the Lane, you really like, man, I'm gonna go my whole life for this damn team. But ain't no way I'm gonna let BG down here. And but what makes this team great? Blocking it out.
No. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's gonna be a great game out there for you guys. And this is a great conversation, man. We should definitely do this more often.
You see what I mean? Like CJ Gardner Johnson called it out. Super Bowl bound. This team we built, Sirianni, and we here. We are definitely here. Let's get into this last topic. Speaking of diamonds in the roughs and guys going off, Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, who I believe played probably 13, 14. I know he didn't play more than 15 snaps, but to me, he had a good game. Every snap count. Every single one counted for him. And these are the numbers. According to Thomas R. Peterson, Jordan Davis had only 13 snaps. I'm pretty sure it was in that range. Had 3 pressures, a sack, a batted pass, and a defensive stop. So almost more than half of the snaps he took, he did something whereas though it was on the stat sheet. And Jordan Davis, another guy I was hard on. But I always said that if you lowered his snaps, I think you'll get the most out of Jordan Davis because Jordan Davis, he just can't do what Jalen Carter do. He can't play majority of the snaps like that. That was the thing in Georgia too. The reason why Jordan Davis was so good in Georgia is because they had a really good front and they was able to rotate him. So he always stayed like, energized. His stamina was there. But when you got Jordan Davis playing like 30 snaps, 40 snaps, you're not going to get the best of Jordan Davis. So I'm happy like guys like Milton Williams, Mauro Jomo, stuff there. But don't underestimate what Jordan Davis bring because when he comes in, he do his job. But if you give him too many snaps, it's not going to be too good. But you sure, you give him a good 15, 16, he going to make the best out of those 15, 16. So, again, shout out to Jordan Davis. Again, another guy just proving doubters wrong. And I like it. I like it, man. I always thought, just limit his snaps. He'll be fine. And I don't mean that in a diss. I mean that I just know the guy. He's a big guy. Big guy shouldn't be playing 40, 50 snaps. Just keeping it a buck. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel? Jordan Davis dog. AJ Brown explains the fight. Look, man, I'm gonna get back on my 8:30 jump, but I'm on vacation, y'all. I'm not shooting videos overnight. I'm waking up in the morning and like, you know what? I'm gonna take my kids to school. Then I'm gonna give them a video. They'll be alright. They'll be alright. But Eagle Eye will be back. Probably doing videos at 8:30 or 8 o'clock. Probably start Thursday, Friday. I'll get back on schedule. But again, this is Eagle Owl, and shout out to Bet US. I'm out.